Hey everyone, Lesley Myrick here, interior designer and business coach with Nancy Quinn. It is Thursday, and that means we have Peter and Alex from Daniel House Club joining us today. Hey guys, how you doing?
Hey, Lesley, we're good. How are you?
I am good. So we got to meet up in real life at High Point, which is always a blast. And it was so good to talk to other designers and connect and learn more about you guys and your team. So I'm excited to talk more about this topic today. We're chatting on outsourcing interior design purchases with confidence. And I think this is a great topic because lots of people don't realize Daniel House Club is not just a website you order from as a designer, but you are really outsourcing to the Daniel House team who make purchases. So tell me your thoughts. I want to hear about this from your perspective.
Well, first, I should say it was wonderful to meet you and Nancy in person, too. And
Just kidding. It was fun.
as I said in the waiting room, we were very impressed by your outfit coordination. And it's important to learn what height people are. So
I feel the same way, too, because people, if you don't know, Nancy's quite petite. She's about 5'1", and I'm 5'8", and I usually wear chunky shoes. So when the two of us are together, there's a wee bit of a height differential there.
And Alex and I fall happily in between that at 5. So we were a good crew together. So,
We were a good crew.
Anyway, but back to the real business.
Yes, that's what we're here for. If I can remember the question. No, we brand ourselves, and it's not really just branding. It is something we do through and through as a partner in the business of design. And our first value as a company is we put designers first. It's really, core to who we are. Coming out of the design firm that we built is realizing how hard everything is. And if I can be honest, how bad designers are at most of the back end stuff. And I don't mean that as an insult. It's really
Guilty.
not
We didn't get into design because we love spreadsheets and procurement tracking. We got into design because we love creativity and design and spaces. And that's just stuff you have to do to get to the finished product and get to photography.
Yeah.
And I have to say, as like the designer character in our office, as we've built this, it's also, I think, not a designer's natural first inclination to think, oh, I just shouldn't do this. Like someone else will do this. And all of the partners here are like, well, I can't really do that. We should find somebody to do this well. And it's just like a very natural thing for everybody in our office to think. Whereas I'm like, oh man, I got to figure out how to do that. I'm going to be bad at it, but I'll do it. And that's like not the right approach.
Well, yeah, and outsourcing procurement is scary because if I don't know how to do it great, I don't know what I'm looking for to like hire a team member or a staff person and be like, I don't know. I need you to do a job that I can't even fully explain. Like it doesn't really work well like that.
It doesn't. Yeah. No, actually on Peter's point, beyond the beyond not knowing, I find that there's so much fear in the beginning of the design business when somebody's launching it, like every single penny. It's like, oh, I can't pay for a branded Gmail account because that's $15 a month. Well, that does offer, I think that's actually surprisingly analogous. It offers a lot of additional professionalism to yourself, to your brand, to developing as a business. And it's a fairly small cost, but I understand you're starting out, you don't have income, you don't have profit necessarily. Or even if you've been going for a while, that can be a switch, can be like, oh, why do something small like that? And I think, we're a lot bigger than a Gmail account, but there's a little cost to it.
But we're not more expensive.
There's similar cost. There's a little bit of cost. There's a little bit of a learning curve. But really what we're trying to do is enable you to be a really professional designer and not a crappy logistics person and not somebody who's just remembering passwords all day long. Like all of these things that you get frustrated at, whenever you throw up your arms in your design practice, let us know.
Because that's something we can help you with.
We want to help with that.
Yeah, throw up your arms or lose money, which I spent many years procuring and I wasn't charging appropriately. And it cost me to do it. There was a point where I had literally said, I'm done. I'm only doing design only from now on. This is not worth it.
Yeah,
And
we
it's not
hear
like
that
that
from
anymore, so yay.
we hear that from so many people, and honestly, it's a position that I can respect and understand because we were there as well because it's such a nightmare. And I think personally, I always find this like a weird first pitch from our concierge offer. Like we offer help sourcing. I personally think, well, that's a part of job I love. I like to source. I like to find the product. I don't want to. Once I found it, I don't want to do anything about it. Like I want to show it to the client. I want them to fall in love with it. I'm good at getting them to fall in love with it. And then I want it to like magically appear at the job site for a cost that is reasonable. And I think there's a lot of designers who enjoy the hunt part of the job. They want to see all the product. They're okay. They don't consider it upsetting that they've gone to 6 different shops because they've seen a bunch of stuff along the way that is interesting and stimulating and something maybe they are going to use in the future. But maybe that's not you. Maybe you actually hate the sourcing process. And sometimes what I find is like all of our concierge team, they've all been involved in the furniture business for a long, long time, or they have been interior designers or are interior designers themselves. So like when you go into like a clothing store and the sales guy gives you something that you would not normally try on, and you're like, oh man, this is actually super cool. This is exactly what I was looking for. I do think that our concierge service team, when they're in that sourcing thing, they're showing you stuff you might not have thought to look at. And I think that's a super helpful starting place. But really beyond the aesthetics, they're doing so much of that logistical horror that you don't want to do. And that's what I think we should talk mostly about is misery that they can spare you.
Daniel House Club, sparing designers misery. Like
we should get that on a t-shirt.
I would wear that shirt. Okay, so tell us.
Okay, we need to survey people on this. We keep adding new bedding lines. We need everybody to know we sell bedding. It's not a huge category for us. We'd like to see that grow. And we have some nice lines. But we were thinking about a t-shirt that says Daniel House Club, getting better in bed. And then it has all those vendors' logos. Would you wear that t-shirt? Is that...
I mean, maybe not in front of my kids, but yeah.
Yeah, probably not. High point with Nancy.
I would wear it for you at High Point.
Okay, thank you.
That's a no.
Yeah. Okay, but you mentioned sort of this like, you're right, designers, like the sourcing can be the fun stuff. I will say what's not fun is the resourcing when something goes out of stock. And that's where I've been super grateful for your team when I can just say, hey, here's what we loved. It's not available. Can you point me to some alternates? That's where I feel like your sourcing really shines, is to support. But I want to hear more about like the outsourcing, because this really is like, it's not hiring a team member, but when you order, you're basically getting Daniel House's entire back end handling your order, which for me is huge. I'm a one-woman show with a few contractors. They're not employees, but you know what I mean? Like my team is small and mighty. We're all independent contractors. It's how I love it. But for people like me that don't have a full back office and a whole team and a procurement department, like you guys are I've outsourced to you. You are my procurement department.
Yeah, I think that's a great way of phrasing it. And we absolutely work to fill a role of a whole employee or multiple employees. And something I found out recently, I didn't really know, is a lot of people think we're kind of for beginner designers. Maybe that's because of where we come in. But a lot of our top customers are
not beginners.
They're doing millions a year. And they're not necessarily all with us. That's never a requirement. That's also a weird thing. People say, do I have to buy it all through you? No, you can buy it however you want. It's fine. But they're bigger customers, and they're not only our best in the sense of the dollars, but they're easy to work with because they have realized, like, hey, I shouldn't actually do all of this stuff. Yeah. I'm going to trust somebody. And they're not going to trust blindly, and they'll work with us at the beginning. And that's a great way to start out. It's like, just buy something small and see how it goes. And then we can level up together and build that trusting relationship. That's how we do it with our vendor partners as well. We're going to start small and see how things go. And it's always helpful advice. but we really can come in at like every point of the sourcing journey. So if you want to find all the product on your own, like Peter, that's totally fine. You can do that. If you want some help in that phase, we can also do that. If you want to place the order and just wait for things to arrive damaged, which happens, we're never going to lie and say it's not going to happen.
It will
It
happen.
happened to me last week with a mirror.
It will happen
Part of the
whoever
job.
you order it from. So I'm not nervous about that as part of our brand. We try to minimize it, and we do try to use shippers who are more reliable. But you can also wait for them and say you've ordered from 20 vendors, and we'll handle the claims across all the vendors regardless, and you won't have to manage that at all. I did kind of back of the napkin math the other day, and you have to do a 2 to 2.5 million in order to justify kind of like those wholesale accounts.
That's great to have those numbers. So I mean, unless you mean like top line or product purchases? Probably top line.
Purchases.
Okay, so you really do need to be buying in the hundreds of thousands or millions a year to be able to get those really great juicy prices on your own and justify probably a full-time team member to manage that. Yes.
Yes. Right. That is kind of what I was looking at. And that, if you want to replicate the math, you can go out and try it. It depends on who you're sourcing with. Our prices at a signature average out about a 50% discount. It's not universal. There are some that will vary a little bit, and some go up above 50%. And it depends where, who you're hiring and how much they cost. But basically looking at about $2 million in product sourcing before the additional margin you get going direct could justify a direct hire.
That's huge information. I'd never thought to run those numbers before. And I don't know most designers' numbers, but I can tell you, I don't think I know many people personally who are sourcing $2 million a year in furniture as a residential independent designer.
Those would be big numbers. I mean,
if you have those clients, please send them to me because that sounds
Did I miss anything?
No, I was sitting here thinking my head cold is like.
Oh yeah, I'm sitting here thinking
Alex
of pushing
is in danger.
Hi, Peter.
As brothers, we share a lot. So colds are among the things.
But we don't share those with customers because it's all remote.
It's all remote. No, and I do think, I mean, what I appreciate is just how smooth everything is. Like there's so much friction when you're ordering. There's the back and forth and the tedium and the damages and the deliveries and the payments and this fee. And it really does. I'm going to side note a little bit here. There's a business coach and mindset coach I love who talks about living a keyless life. The idea, like if you think about our little key fobs, all you have to do is walk up to your car door and open it. Like if your hands are full of groceries, you no longer have to like dig and fumble for your keys and figure it out and put it in the lock and then drop your keys and pick it up. Like it's just smooth and easy. And my goal, like I want a keyless business, man. I want to make this just as easy and frictionless as possible. And I will say a lot of independent procurement is fumbling for the keys with your arms full of groceries and probably a screaming baby while you're trying to get into your car. And I don't want that. Like make it easy on me.
Actually, that's a great time to share a member story. There's a local member in Portland who came up to us at an event the other day, and we love her. We've known her for a while, and she had been sourcing through Dang House Club, and it was going really well. Then she got a business coach who I think
she thought good things of her. It still thinks her business coach is good.
But one of the first things her coach said is, "Oh no, you can't source through them. You have to source direct." So she went out and tried it, and she said she did it for like 3 months. Yeah, it was miserable. She hated all of it, and she went back and said that was a really dumb suggestion. So we were happy.
I think that she said something more than that. She said that she told her coach she was an idiot, but just for that specific topic.
Better.
And listen, it's okay to have direct accounts if you want. Like if that's how you want to run your business, and you will get to a place where you get better wholesale pricing as you should. Yeah. But for the most of us out there, I'm happy to outsource the purchases, have that taken care of, ease up the workload on my assistant too, and just make things smooth and keyless for my business. That's my goal.
Yeah. And I always like to tell people too that because of this added smoothness, I feel like you're able to take on a wider type of project and still be profitable. Because it used to be for me if somebody came and they had only $25,000 to spend, I mean, we live in an area of the country that's pretty expensive, so that might not be it. But I could not afford to take them as a client. Like, I couldn't furnish a room for them with decent stuff and have money left over to pay me. And now when I shop through our platform, I'm also just a signature member. Like, I don't get a special Daniel House Club additional discount, even though I think I should. There
isn't enough margin. I'm giving it all away.
We're giving it all away. My ability to take that project is it is going to be a profitable project for me because I have this resource. And with a client like that, what I usually do then is say, okay, I'm going to sketch you a floor plan and I'm going to identify what these items are, and you're going to buy them from Daniel House Club. And I will never see you again unless you want to hang out. And it's worked really well a few times that I've done that. And I enjoy those projects because they are quick and painless, and they really do make that client very happy. So that's kind of changed the way I think about those projects that originally I was just like, please find somebody else.
Yeah, I love that you said that. I've had the same experience because unless it's a big, juicy, full service project, it doesn't always make sense to procure and spend your time and energy and money and billable fees as a design business owner. But I have several design only projects right now where we are just hourly, and it's sort of like, I need a sofa here, I need this here. That fits into our wheelhouse sometimes if we have the availability. And this happened 2 days ago. I had a client send me a link to a Costco sectional that I got where she was going aesthetically, but the quality wasn't great. It wasn't the right size. And I was able to find something in a similar vibe on Daniel House for a reasonable price that she bought it that day. I saved her. Not that I'm not knocking Costco furniture, y'all, but this one wasn't the right one for her home. And I wouldn't have been able to do that 5 years ago. Like, that would have been by the time I had gotten it quoted and shipping and blah, blah, blah. Okay, it just
would have bought it, and the Costco one would have been in her house by the time.
Exactly. That's right. Exactly. She would have gone behind my back and bought the other one. But truly, there's so much of a range of price points through you guys that I'm starting to, like, before I would have been like, all right, let me go to a different retail site and find something that looks similar. Here's the shopping link, blah, blah, blah. Have a nice day. But in this case, was like, wait a minute. I think I can do better than this. Like, let's go see what's out there. 10 minutes later, I had sent her the shopping cart with all the white glove shipping and all the details she needed. She clicked and ordered, and it will all be taken care of by the magic fairies at Daniel House Club who do it all behind the scenes. And this is huge for designers who are not doing the bajillion-dollar projects, but who are just doing really lovely average homes with lovely people. You can still do trade procurement and make money on furnishings. And that's a huge, huge pivot in this industry because that was not possible a few years ago.
I have a weird, well, I don't think it's weird, but it sounds kind of weird. So I think I'm proud of the way that we've handled mistakes that we have made or that haven't been our fault, but we try to fix them anyway. Have you had something arrive wrong or damaged, and what has your experience been?
That's a good question. And I have a story. Okay. I ordered a chandelier months ago now, and on the Daniel House website, it said light bulbs were included. This was a 15 light chandelier with a really weird, picky, tiny, stupid light bulb.
You want those light bulbs.
Yeah. And I never thought to question it because it said on the website that light bulbs were included. Chandelier gets delivered. Electrician is on the ladder. There's no light bulbs. And it took half a day and 4 hardware stores in 3 counties to get enough of the same light bulb for that fixture. So it was my time I didn't bill that to the client, the electrician's time.
Light bulb shopping, they don't want that.
Yeah. And I let your team know, not because I wanted reimbursement, just, hey, your listing says it comes with bulbs. It doesn't. It was a huge problem for me. I want to make sure that other designers don't have that in the future. And your team gave me a shopping credit on the site as compensation for some of that time and expense. And like, all right, I was not asking for that, but thank you. And that's like, people don't do that, guys. Like, that was such strong customer service that I was like, well, I was already your fan for life, but I'm sticking around. Basically, like, you reimbursed me for the light bulbs and a little bit of my time. I was like, thank you. Like, that means a lot that I didn't ask for that. I wasn't looking for that, but your team noticed, hey, this wasn't great and we're going to fix it. And here's how we can make it right for now.
I do think that's one of the, I'm really glad that you had that, and I'm glad that it turned out that way.
I'm not, because it's like driving around, but we got it solved. No, it was a good experience, and I learned too. And I now know a lot about those. I can't remember the name of them, but I know a ton about those light bulbs now. But yeah, it was really refreshing that it wasn't like, well, sorry, because I have an order for Rachel.
Like we're in our space right now. It sounds like we're in a post office sorting mail suddenly. Can you hear that?
It sounds okay to me.
Okay, good. Like, it's very, I don't know. Quite loud. It's very loud. I think that is one of the benefits of having a concierge team that is made up of, and a business that is started by people who have done what you're doing, because I think we have a built-in understanding that when that happens, it does cost everybody on the job site money. So it's not just that you didn't have the light bulbs, you had 6 more hours of work.
And an electrician that couldn't do anything else and was just charging by the hour to wait around for light bulbs.
And potentially an unhappy client.
Very likely.
We want to solve for all of those.
Yeah, and exactly. And we did, and I'm grateful.
Yeah, and we always recognize along the way, like, it's not going to be perfect, and we want these stories to be shared, and don't hide issues from each other or from us. Let us know. That can make us better and help make you better too.
Yeah,
I feel like way more than 9 times out of 10, if we've received information like what you just gave us, our answer is like, we need to compensate you or help you get through this issue or take care of you however.
Don't go out and break things just to get paid, though.
Yeah. That's not the message.
I didn't steal the light bulbs just to get money back. I would not have spent 6 hours driving around looking for light bulbs. I promise you. It was not how I expected to spend my Tuesday, but we got it.
Breaking news, Lesley Myrick. No.
Yeah.
That's great.
But guys, thank you so much. This is so good to hear these real life stories and hear your perspective too, because there are a lot of designers who are very nervous about purchasing for clients, and been doing it for 10 years on my own now. And I can tell you, this is the easiest and most keyless and smooth it has been. And it's thanks to people like you guys. You're my back end. Like, I should have your little pictures on my websites and be like, procurement specialists.
We have thought about tracking the hours per designer that our team spends so that they could bill for it as though it's an employee. So yes, add our photos to your website, Lesley.
Okay. Well, thank you very much. If anyone does not know about Daniel House Club, the website is danielhouse.club. You've got different membership levels, but there's a free one. Just sign up, check it out, poke around, reach out to the concierge team. It's a great crew over there, and I have outsourced to you, and I love it. So thank you.
Awesome. Thanks, Lesley.
All right, we'll see you back here next month.
Bye.